Three, two, one.
What's going on, YouTube? It's that the place to be. Channel Train Mr. A&D. So I'm here to talk to you guys about what's been going on. Obviously, you guys have not seen me in a couple weeks, and content has been very sporadic for like the past 2 months and stuff like that. So I decided to do this video. I wanted to do it this past weekend, but I think I'm gonna do the video now, just to go live because I didn't be honest with you. I didn't feel like doing all editing and all that stuff like that. Stuff like that. So I was gonna go live. So had Swag come and say, "Hey, set up the live for me," and all that stuff like that, and then we should, cool and everything like that. So what happened was that my mother had passed away, and my mom had been sick for a minute. So back in April, my wife got her some breakfast on a regular day, and then she threw it up, and then she was having like chills, and she got like sick. We thought it was food poisoning. We just put her in the bed, and everything was. It seemed to be okay. She's like I've seen my mom been sick like this before. This is not the first time I've dealt with my mom being sick, so this is something that was really regular. So I just put her in the bed, and then trying to force herself, and then all of a sudden, days gone by, and it was like she's just not getting any better. And then her arm started really hurting her to the point where she could not move it. And I remember she was trying to pick up a bag of laundry a couple days ago, and I know she hurt her biceps. So I figured that she hurt her biceps. I said, "Do you feel any pain in your chest, like it's a heart attack or anything?" She told me no. So I was sitting there confused. The fever was going up and down, and I was sitting there like, I don't know what's going on. So we did the best we could, and then I know she was confined to the bed, and then me and my wife and my sister had to help her out the best we could while she was in the bed and everything. And which I don't mind being real with y'all. This is gonna be raw. This is gonna be unedited. I'm just telling y'all, expressing my feelings and everything. And I had to go to my dad's and my aunt and say, I don't know what's truly wrong with mom. She seemed, lethargic and stuff like that, and I was like, I think, should I call the hospital? I asked my doctor friend who lived next door to me if I should call the doctor or if I should wait to see if her doctor comes out. And then one night I was like, Mom, this is getting too bad. What we're trying to do here, I had to call the hospital. So we called the hospital, and they took her, and but we didn't know what was wrong. So my sister went out there, and she went out to the hospital with her all night. That night, she called me and said that my mom coded because she had like a little clot in her arm and her heart, but they got rid of it and they brought her back for the simple procedure they were trying to do. I watched too many medical shows, okay? So I hear coded. I know what that's you got to bring the heart things back. You got to shock these people back to life. Scared the hell out of me. And I was just like, wow, if it's like that, this could be more serious than I thought. Then my dad called the doctors saying, your mom was in bad shape. She has these heart problems and stuff. And I'm like, my mom don't ever had heart problems before. I'm not saying we the healthiest people in the world, but we ain't never really had no heart problems before. And I was like, okay. So that affected my work both ways because I am a caretaker. I take care of both my parents and if any other jobs come available, yes. But majority is my mom and my dad. And my dad doesn't live. He lives, away. And then I moved in my house I'm in now to help take care of my mom because she was confined to the hospital bed. So my job took a hit, and then I didn't feel like doing anything. And for my wrestling fans, my wrestling subscribers out there, Raw sucks. Okay, WWE has not put on any good content, even right now as it's on in the background. They're not putting on any good content at all, and it sucked. It's straight. So I was like, I'm not putting on any of my energy in here when I got all this stuff going on in my personal life, and I went for SmackDown as well. The only difference, and then of course it just happened that AEW NXT moved to Tuesdays. And AEW was either on Wednesday or Friday or Saturday, and I'm like, well, I can't catch up with that because, TNT was holding the NBA playoffs. So it was going to be mostly I couldn't catch them with AEW, and since they weren't doing the Wednesday Night War, well, I could just watch it on Wednesday. Say it was hard to review that stuff, so I just took a break from all that stuff. I did an Eva Marie Raw review because I know people wanted to hear me talk about Eva Marie come back because they know I hate Eva Marie, and I tried to keep myself busy. So it seemed like my mom was getting better. Then they took her to a rehab, and she didn't like that place. The place was not kind to her and things like that. So my sister busted her ass to get her to a new rehab center. But before we can do that, they said that her heart rate was dropped too low. They took her back to the hospital. And now it's going to wrap around my. I'm really wrapping my head around the fact that I was like, something is really wrong with my mom. And I went to the hospital and I went to go visit her. And because these COVID protocols, the hospital she was at, if y'all in the Philly area, she was at Penn, and it was only one person allowed to visit her between the hours of 12 and 8. And after that one person came, that was it. No more visitors. So what am I going to do? I naturally gave it to my sister to go down there and make sure everything was taken care of. So it bothered me because I couldn't go see my mom. My wife couldn't go see her mother-in-law. My kids couldn't go see their grandmother. COVID fucking sucks. All right, COVID sucks, and all y'all know that. Everybody has experienced something different, and it sucks. So when she came to another hospital in Chestnut Hill, we were allowed to come one at a time. So I told my neighbor and I told my aunt that we were allowed to come there and visit. But like if I came in the morning, my sister could come in the night, so I was to come in the afternoon. Fine, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take what I can. And I went and I visited her, and I was like, "What's wrong? I don't know what's wrong. I really don't know what's going on with you right now." And I was pieced together, but she was sitting there being her usual funny self. That's why I get my personality from. And I only was able to see her twice. So then when they felt as though she was well enough to go to a rehab center, they took her to a better rehab center. And they said, well, it's a 2-week quarantine because of the COVID. And she'd been tested for COVID in the hospital 5 different times. She was always negative. And they took her to this place, this new rehab center. But it wasn't like the doctors were calling my sister every day to give us updates. And then we was talking to her more. Now, we couldn't contact her. We didn't know if she was picking up her phone. If she did pick up her phone, whatever the case may be, we didn't know what was going on. And I was getting actually, I'm gonna just go up there, even though it's a COVID protocol, and ask like, can I get an update of my mom, please? So it was June 10th. David, that's the day I wanted to go see that day, and my birthday and her birthday was on the 13th, and do all that kind of stuff like that. And my sister got in contact with her one time, I believe it was. And it came on that Sunday. No, not that Sunday. Well, the 6th. I was like, well, this Thursday's supposed to be coming up. My sister came into my room with me and my wife, and it was just like, not breathing. They're trying to resuscitate her now. They'll call her up. I sat up and I said, dear, I watched too many medical shows. Because I was sitting there waiting for like a callback, and I was just not getting a callback. I said, if it's taking that long to resuscitate somebody, you know what I'm saying? No matter if you get them back or not, their quality of life, the air to the brain or whatever the case may be. But I prayed, so that's why I did a man of faith. And I prayed, but I just prayed for some peace and understanding. And then they said the paramedics got there, were taking her down to Einstein. And they took her down to Einstein, the main hospital for like those who know the Philadelphia area. And my sister said, I'm going down there. And I waited. And I waited 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 and I waited. And she called me back at 9:30 and she just said, and she called me and she didn't say anything. And then I just said, just lay it on me. And she said, your mom's dead. She died. She's gone. And I was just like, oh God, that was some heavy news that day. And I just broke down. Me and my wife just broke down in our living room, and I could I really could not wrap around the fact because we all as people, you're supposed to be old before your parents pass away, but people lose their parents every day. So and people a lot younger than me. But in a dream scenario, it's like you know your grandparents die when you're becoming an adult, and then like I'm supposed to be like 50, 60 some years old. It was time for me to bury my parents because my kids supposed to be grown to understand their grandparents, and that wasn't the case. And it was something because and I could never around here. So I started calling on my family, and that's a hard job to do for anybody who's been in a situation. It's a hard job to do. You got to call your people, let them know that they died, and I called my dad, I called my aunt, and I called. That's what I call my friends and stuff like that. Cause I'm a kind of guy that I don't hide in the corner. I gotta talk about it. If I don't talk about it, it's gonna make me go crazy. And I told all my friends about it, and my friends are very close to my mom. So every time I bring my friends over because we do YouTube, like especially when I do it with Anthony, who's Swag on Zero, or when I do it with Q Flow, and every time my mom has been a part of everything I have done for the past 6 years, and she has gained relationships with each and every one of them individually. So I I felt the hurt when I uh, called them because my mom has been sick before. My mom has been in the hospital before. My friends have known this. They have come over and they're like, okay, your mom's in the, is she gonna come back? And the last time when she got her leg amputated, they all came and they helped her bring her back to the house. This is just it's common stuff that's supposed to happen. You think, and it did. It sucked. So, and people, bring us food and ask us if you need anything, just let us know. And the thing is, you need the world, but you don't know what you need. But you just need help, and that's how I was feeling. So there was nothing to do. There was no YouTube. There was nothing like that. I wasn't watching nothing because it, what the worst situation is my mom had no life insurance. My mom was not prepared for any of this. See, when my grandmother passed away, she had life insurance stacked up and everything. She had a plan. She had this stuff laid out. Now, I'm not saying everybody hasn't had this stuff laid out, but it is important to have some kind of life insurance. And mom didn't have any at all. Nothing from no previous accounts from my grandparents, and just nothing. And I know my mom did not want to leave her kids like that, but we had nothing we could do. So we had to find a way to get money together to bury her. And that sucked because anybody out there who also knows is that funerals are expensive. They're very expensive. And it was going and and on top of that, I kept saying to myself, I hope my family can just make it through COVID, including myself, including my kids, including my siblings and everything, because I don't want to have a funeral during COVID. Because nobody can come. Nobody can share it, and that's what ended up happening. And we were sitting there and I was racking my head. I was like, so now we had to get money together, and we had to get money together to cremate her, cremate and bury her, because we just did not have enough. And people was going to say you could set up a GoFundMe or so. Yeah, but here's the thing. It always takes a few because you got people that have screwed people out of things before, and that GoFundMe don't just come right there and there when you need it. So I called my friends and I asked them for help and stuff. And usually when something like affects me or something affects Anthony or anything like that, we have we take over for each other. And the death of my mother, I'm going to step. I can't speak for him, but I think it affected him as well because everybody knew my mom, close to my mom. So there was just no level up. I mean, if you've seen stuff go up, pre-recorded stuff or stuff that was already scheduled to come out anyway, but there was just no new projects in mind. Like the whole Power Rangers versus thing just stopped because I didn't play nothing. I didn't do anything, and and every day it was hard. My friends came by and visited me. Obviously, my family came and visited me and gave us food, stuff like that. But then when you alone in your thoughts and the simple things, are not registering, then so then um, my son took it very hard, and you know, uh, he had an experience that I I don't know if I want to share my son's experiences out here live like that because that's his personal business. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably go away from that. But when it came, the nurse had called my sister, and 'cause I was like, what happened?" And she said that my mom was just awake and she was kind of out of it, and she kept asking, "Where are the kids? Where are the kids?" So I have two kids, and those are grandkids, and she kept asking the nurse, "Where are the kids?" And then she says, "I believe the kids are at home because they live with me." And she said, "The kids okay?" She want to make sure the kids are okay. She said, "Yeah, the kids okay. They're at home." And then, according to the nurse, when she said that, she stopped breathing. And I don't know what she saw, what the dream she had, or she just knew. It's weird. Something that I have not finished putting together yet. Then, of course, we're taking all this time to build to the funeral, and and have to pay this stuff and keep calling the undertaker back and delay this, and can we do it here? And we try to do it at church, and these churches, you wonder why church people away from the church, because they were charging, because certain churches are open during COVID, certain churches are not, and the ones that are open charging all this money to rent for 1 hour. And I was like, we can't even afford this. And our family church won't even open. There's so much problems going on with that. I don't even know when it's going to open back up again. And I'm so blessed that Anthony's father is a pastor, and he became a great family friend to ours, who offered to do this for us because he knew my mom very well. Like I said, everybody knew my mom, and it sucked because the funeral was on the 15th. Her birthday was on the 13th. My friends came by and tried to cheer me up on my birthday on the 11th. But just, I cheered, I laughed for a little bit. But, it just didn't feel right, because I didn't have my mom there. And come time her birthday came, you could just feel the anxious in the mood in the house because, well, your mother's birthday, the things we would have did, and now the things that we have to do because we had to bring for a funeral, and just sucked. It really sucked, and everybody was handling it in their own way, and my dad stuff like that. And I'm like, I have to try to get in the mindset because I have to work for some money. Okay, uh, so I had to go to work for my dad, and so I could and get more hours to try to just get some money because I had nothing. And you go from having everything and helping anybody out and being on top of your bills and anything like that to just it's done just like that. And I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck, but once again, even the time she was alive in the hospital, when you're a caretaker, when you're in the hospital, you don't get paid for that. So there was already a month I wasn't getting paid, and then Monday we had to go to the funeral home. And I was just like, in my dream scenario, this is not where I would have my mother's funeral at, but this is what we can afford right now. That sucked because my mother deserved better than that, in my personal opinion. And then we had the funeral on that Tuesday, and it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. I've come to terms with my mother being dead, but you never um, come to terms about having to say goodbye. It don't get easy at all, no matter what age you are, no matter what the time is, and you had to do that. And but the, the the moment that made me feel good or made me have faith is uh, when when the funeral directors would say it's the final viewing, so the family can have some private time, and you guys can either sit down, or you can leave. I was obviously in the front row, and everybody comes up and they say their goodbyes, and then I'm there. Me and my family go, and then we have to put the veil over and close the casket. The whole funeral gig stuff. And I turned around, and then everybody left. Everybody at the funeral home except my core group of friends, and that meant so much to me. It, it meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to my mom. That they stayed there. 'Cause damn, that day hurt so bad. But they made it through it. It was hard because you could have asked me at any other time that I think in 2021, out of the year that we just had before, if I would have lost my mom and just, I would have told you, not yet. I mean, it's coming, but not yet. But it just meant a lot to me that they stayed. It meant a lot to it meant a lot to my mom. It meant a lot to my family, you know, because this felt that my mom was worth something. And then you got to come back, had a repass, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now where do we go from here? Because after you're done, you're always busy planning for funerals and stuff like that. And next thing you know, you're like, now the true grieving begins because you have nothing to keep you busy. And that's what it was. I wasn't watching wrestling. I wasn't playing any video games. I wasn't watching. Like literally, time went by and I didn't realize what was going on for a month and some change. And I looked up and I'm like, this movie's out. This movie's out. This show's. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. This movie come out next month. Oh shit, it's next month. That's how it was in my mind. It's still April. May was like this to me. And I can't remember nothing of April other than my daughter's birthday party that we had. Which when I went to the hospital, my mother told me to go on and have because I wasn't going to have it. I was going to cancel it, and she told me to go on and have the party. So everything was a blur to me. So I took some time and I said, okay, let me try to get back. And I put out some reactions la- last week, and I have a little message in the beginning for the people that didn't know that I had lost a mom, and this. So there were some things I wanted to react to that I know everybody saw that was probably old already, whatever the case may be, but I wanted to still do it because I didn't get a chance to watch it. So I said, if you disrespect it, I want to watch it. I want to share it with y'all. To help me try to get back into the swing of things. And I was going to do this live stream to explain to y'all, what's been going on. Um, it's still not easy because it's how do you explain it? Every time me and Anthony or Q or somebody we be doing a podcast, stuff like that, and like we gonna record, I'd be like, hold on, fellas, hold on. I gotta go take my mom to the bathroom. Or I gotta go get my mom some water. I gotta go do she would text me and she hated texting me during the podcast. She respected my craft even when I didn't respect it. She respected the YouTube channel and supported it even when I did. Especially when I lost the other channel, which I still haven't got over that. And but she hated doing that. But sometimes I'll be so into the work and I'd lose track of time. And I'm like, and then sometimes I just left my mom down there sometimes, and she wouldn't ask me for not a thing. And I felt bad that after I do this podcast, it'd be 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm now down there taking her to the bathroom or changing her foot, knowing damn well I should have did that 4 hours ago. And she never complained. And it's I was sitting there doing reactions and editing the thumbnail, stuff like that, and I kept checking my phone. Like, is she gonna text me? 'Cause she needs to go to the bathroom. And the texts never came through. And it's the little things like that that hit you after the funeral. So it was hard to do that. Just it was hard to sit here and work on videos uninterrupted. It really was. And it felt weird to me. It felt weird to me. And Loki came out. I was like, oh man, really want to get on Loki because me and Swag did the WandaVision, Captain and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was like, I can't wait for the next Disney Plus show to come out. There was a couple other shows I was trying to do, and like I said, it was all a blur. I don't even like I said, it came and went. I look up, we on episode 2, and I said, shit, what happened to the time? Because you don't have a sense of time, what's going on, and it's been affecting my family and my friends all differently. But I said, and I got a tweet today. I don't know who it's from because my wife looked at it and said somebody asked about the wrestling content. I was just like, damn, you know what? I ain't do a wrestling review for anything in months because one is suck. Okay, y'all can Raw and SmackDown, that's just suck. But even the AEW stuff, and then uh Anthony knows, and like I said, for those who are new to check, like I'm not keeping track of everything. Anthony is SmackDown Zero. So uh usually back in the old channel, when 2K first announced that it was coming, you can lie. I give you the 2K news and everything that's coming out, cover reveals, whatever stuff may be. I didn't even start on that because I was like, because the battlegrounds came out last year. I wanted to start on that, and I did. Uh, we were supposed to put out a ton of retro reviews, Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Didn't get to it because of what's been going on. And I had Coming to America for Coming to America 2 to come out. And I was like, I want to have all these reviews up before Space Jam because I was like, I had to try to do a retro Space Jam. And I didn't expect any of this. This hit me so hard and so by surprise. I didn't expect any of this stuff. And it took me for a loop. So, but now I'm slowly but sure, I'm trying to come back into the fold or anything. So I'm doing the live stream now because I want to update you guys on what to expect or what me and Ant are going to try to do for studios, because he has my back, and I appreciate him for that. But I have to respect how he feels, and I have to respect his work schedule and stuff like that for a lot of things that we will try to do as a group type thing. So I appreciate you guys. Hold on. I appreciate God, you guys listen to that whole story about my mom and stuff like that. So, but in life, I have to have faith that she is in a better place, and I have to continue to be here for my family down here on Earth. So, meaning we got to get back to work here, and it also kind of helps me also because I need to keep busy somehow, because my son took it very hard, and my daughter's too, and it hurts that I don't know if she's gonna remember my mom. And my mom, one of my biggest fears, even when she went to the hospital, was like, "I don't want Sage to forget me." And I'm like, "I hope not." But she's two. What can you do? And there's my wife. That's her mother-in-law, and then there's my sister. And for my sister, that was her best friend. Like I am blessed enough that I have a group of friends that I can talk to, or when I can go to their house, or they come to my house, and we can barbecue and stuff like that. And I can hang out. My sister don't have all that. My mom was her friend, her best friend, and she lost it. They said they with my dad. That was his wife, you know. And uh, to those out there who's battling it, I know from the time that my mom died, it broke her heart. My mom died of depression. My mom was very depressed. She wouldn't show that to a lot of people. My mom was dealing with battling some serious depression demons. I'm not gonna go into my mom's personal history, but she was very depressed, and depression does weaken the body. I think that's what it did. It just broke her down. It just broke her down, and she just could not. It was hard to fight it. And I've dealt with depression before. My sister's dealing with it. My wife is dealing with it. Shit is not a joke. It ain't easy, and especially for us in the black community. We think it's taboo, and you need to take it more seriously. That's what happened to my dad. So my dad is feeling a lot of guilt right now because it was taboo to him, and he was thinking it's just a medical problem. I'm like, no, it's in the brain, man. It's in the head. The stuff is real. You got to treat it as such, you know. So um, right now I'll go over what we plan on doing. So uh, me and uh, Anthony and Swag is just trying to do the Loki series. So uh, I plan on, since it comes out on Wednesdays, I probably will try to get up by Fridays, but right now I'm sticking with the Saturday schedule. So I already know everybody gonna be talking about it come Thursday. But the way the schedule has been changing, I just can't keep up with that. That's just being real. I can't keep up with that. But there should be no excuse why you'd be like, okay, well, it's Monday of next week. It'll be 2 days from the new Loki, and you see, no, we're not doing that. So most likely, we'll try to have a Friday, especially Saturday, like it's been. If we can go with the new schedule stuff, how days are going, we'll see. My wrestling reviews I planned this week. Like I can call Prime, for those who know that Prime Time works on the wrestling podcast and the reviews with me. And I just watched Hell in a Cell yesterday just to watch it because I did not want to watch the Sixers game yesterday. So we watched Hell in a Cell. I was like, wasn't bad. It was damn sure wasn't great. There was a part in there that was just really not great at all. And I was like, well, you might help me get back into the swing of things and do this. And he's like, yeah. So I said, well, we get back in the swing of things. And so the Hell in a Cell review hopefully will be up tomorrow. Or yeah, sometime tomorrow I probably should have it up. I wanted to see NXT in your house, and I was like, do I really want to go back that far and watch NXT in your house, especially when I haven't watched the lead up to it? And I was like, well, maybe, but I still plan. Like I said, the NBA playoffs now, since I don't know if they're still going to do Wednesdays because there's going to be some Wednesdays where the game ain't going to be on TNT, you know. So I don't know if they're going to still stick with the Friday schedule or the Saturday schedule. I'm not necessarily sure, so I don't know if I want to do individual reviews for NXT and AEW just yet, or if I want to just keep them as a way that Warrior haven't done that. Wrestling podcast will be back up next weekend. I plan on doing the Wrestling podcast. I missed all the rest of Dark Side of the Ring. Everybody kept saying, "Did you see this? You see this?" I said, "No, I was not. My mind was not here to even watch it." So I gotta go back and watch the other Dark Side of the Rings and the A&E biographies and all the other shit wrestling is doing. They dropped a new China documentary on Vice. That was like, I gotta check this out. So the next week's podcast, hopefully, if I can get Prime on the back, will be beefy enough, and the talk like that. The Nerdgasm Talk podcast will return on Saturday, hopefully, with me and Swag on Zero, because we took a break. Say E3 happened. It's like I said, like my mind wasn't here. I can't speak for Swagger where his mind was at, stuff like that. But I obviously was clocked out. So, but uh, I know he gave me personally my space. But here's the thing, I'm not a space guy. You know what I'm saying? If you give me too much space, then you can come check on me because I can't be alone with my thoughts like that. I like people checking up on me. I like people saying you want to talk, you want stuff like that. That's who I am. There are a lot of people that deal with this kind of situation and they don't want nothing to do with nobody. They just want to just be in their own time. I can't do that. I can't do that. I talk a lot. I talk too much. My mind is always going. I always have questions, and I just have to talk. That's just the way I am. So a lot of people think they do a good service by giving me my space. I don't want the space like that. Unless I ask for it, like give me my space. No, I don't ask for it. So that should return this week. I still do not want to do it Raw at all. Okay, because Raw completely sucked. I hate it, and I don't know what's going on Raw now. They did Money in the Bank qualifiers and stuff like that. This Raw is a bad television show. I was actually thinking about doing some classic Raw reviews for like the old classic Raw. Like if it's Monday, I put a random Raw episode from 2002 or 1999 or 1998 or 2005, whatever the case may be, and review that show for that Monday because this is not happening. This ain't what it is. SmackDown is not as bad as Raw, but SmackDown is the Roman Reigns show. It's the Roman Reigns show, and after a while, you're just like, all right, I'll catch the highlights of it. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't just do SmackDown shows. But however, SmackDown is more tolerable right now for me. So I may just get back to the SmackDown reviews and do my best to have them up by Saturday. NXT and AEW, depending on what the days is, because it's kind of hard to kind of follow them. And the channel needs to be updated in the first place. Like we had to update the website that we haven't done. I know y'all see a lot of fan reacts. I want to update this opening. I want to update the wrestling. There's a lot of updates I got to do. I got to come into 2021. A lot of these things we use for like 2018, 2019. So we have to update our product a lot of times. And the ones who've been here, I appreciate it so much. I seen Level Up has been gaining subscribers, and I was like, oh, thank God, because I was like, it's gonna be so hard to just build a gaming channel by itself. But I commend everything Swag has been doing to keep that channel up and the gameplay and its dedication, because he don't have to do that. He don't get paid for this. He doesn't, say we don't get paid no more because we don't have as many subscribers, stuff like that either. And but the dedication, when you put the work in, it will return. And that's what I'm seeing. Whatever. Every time, look, I'm like, oh, we get new subscribers for the gaming, and studios doesn't get as fast as subscribers. I'm not consistent with it, and especially from April to June, I have not been consistent with studios. So it's not going to grow like I wanted to because I'm inconsistent. And I'm trying to, to get back to being consistent. And one of the reasons why I was inconsistent is because I was having so much on my plate with dealing with this, dealing with being a husband, dealing with having kids, and dealing with my mother and my father. So I was spread very, very thin. So, maybe now I can come back into, the fold of things. And then once again, there are things I still have to do in my personal life, like, because now since my mother has passed away, I have to find another job, whether it still be in the caretaking field or whether it just be anywhere else right now. And, with COVID protocol, sometimes it could be easy to find a job because everybody want to be offered, and to deal with unemployment, or it could be kind of harder. So, we'll see how things like. I can't just, and since my thing has been set up so one way for years, for about the past 5 years, I can't just jump and like, hey, let me get 9 to 5 because there's kids there. There's no daycare. There's some kid, and my wife works from home now, and we got to balance that. We got to find a good way to balance it instead of just jumping out to that. So as in the immediate future, I would say for the rest of June, half of July, as I'm looking for work and as I'm discussing what the best times and everything, a lot of my focus will be back on YouTube and the channel going forward. So there will be wrestling content up. I will get back into the wrestling. I will talk to some people about their raw idea because I do not want to do that by myself. That's not a by myself kind of project. There's projects I want to do, like when what Special Business was the wrestling show I had back in 2016, 2017, and it turned out to be a success, and I wanted to do season 2, and I just never got to it at all. And there's so much to talk about, and I don't want to rush it, but I was like, I just never got to it at all. And so we don't know what the future holds now, since time has been freed up and things like that. But I believe everything does happen for a reason. And I'm not sitting here saying by no means that my mom died so I could do YouTube. That ain't what I'm saying at all, because that I don't think that's first thing for the truth. But it's just weird that everything happens for a reason, And as much as I wanted my mom to stay here and even have 5 more years as I prayed for, or just be here forever, the quality of life, because she was doing it but getting worse, and I don't want her to be in pain and suffering because I just want her here, you know. So that's basically the update. So I would say tomorrow, if you're one of the Wrestling subscribers, look for the Hell in a Cell review, and come Friday, uh, I will check for Loki. Hopefully, to have episode 1, 2, and 3 reviewed up for you guys on Friday, and probably Saturday morning also. I know Swag has some TV experiences also that he has been checking out that we're going to add to it. The movie experience, when I watch movies, oh my God! So obviously Fast 9 come out this weekend, and I'm like, and that's another thing. When my mom died, I lost my babysitter because me and my wife can get up and go to the movies, even though we wasn't doing it during COVID, but we can get up and go to the movies and leave the kids here, and my mom will have no problem watching the kids. None. She enjoyed it. As long as you just kept everyone within range, and my son's old enough to do his own thing, but we don't have a babysitter now. So people with kids understand that, things change when you don't have that. So I'm going to find a way to see Fast 9, but I'm going to do like a video of also that I seen, like I seen In the Heights. I want to watch was it Loca, the Disney Pixar movie. I want to see The Conjuring. I want to see. Well, I want to do all that. I'll kind of put them in like one video as a review type thing of how I felt about it or stuff like that, so that we can kind of catch up. I want to see Fast 9. I want to see the Tomorrow World and stuff like that. Those kind of movies I want to see. And the Space Jam is coming up, so and I also want to put out the retro reviews. So I think on Sunday for the previous Sundays coming up leading up to Space Jam, I put out certain reviews on that. But that's basically the update that I do have. I appreciate everybody being patient with me in this channel and my team. I appreciate everybody's condolences that I have got physically or online or text message or anybody that's been out there. and stuff. I enjoy. Thank you for all the love um, that you guys have been giving me and stuff. Uh, I'm gonna be all right. My family's gonna be all right. It's gonna be my friends gonna be all right. We're gonna make it through this together. It takes a village. Don't let that phrase. Don't joke on that phrase. It does take a village to do all this stuff. And I've been telling my friends stuff like that. Hey, you know, whatever you got beef with your parents or stuff like that. Like I can't tell you what to do personally, but you may look up one day and they're gonna be gone. And I know Swag's mom's birthday's coming up, and I know mom's birthday was today. And I told him, I said, he's like, I can try to do the hell of a cell review with you. I will see if my mom. I'm like, no, hell of a cell's not even important. You go celebrate your mom's birthday with your mom. And I told Anthony the same thing. You go celebrate your mama's birthday with your mom, because I know what it felt like to celebrate my mom's birthday without my mom, and it's not a good feeling. And I'm like, why? The time that you have here on this earth, enjoy it with the people you love. Enjoy all that kind of stuff like that. Because I'm not the first person that has lost his mom. I'm not going to be the second. I'm not going to be the last person. I'm fortunate that I had 33 good years of my mom, and then yeah, she died young at 65. Or 64. She would have been 65, a couple days, a week after she passed. But there's some people that lose their parents a lot younger, don't even know who their parents are because they were so young, or whatever the case may be. There's so many different situations. But that's if I can leave you on anything, you know, uh, do the best you can, and the other ones that you love. So we'll probably end it right here. I appreciate everybody joining the live stream. That's the upcoming schedule. I will work with Anthony to do the best we can to get the studios and the stuff up the date. And I'm talking about like openings. I'm talking about the website. I keep telling everybody on the podcast, go to this website, get our merch. And I'm like, they ain't got no links up there because the website is old. So there's a lot of things that we got to do for that. So be patient with me. I appreciate it. Like I said, grieving is still here. It's going to be here. It's going to be here for a very long time because everybody knows you got to deal with the first. I got to deal with, the 4th of July. I got to deal with, Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then all the stuff that we so used to doing. I got to deal with them again without her. So there's going to be a lot of grieving. There are going to be times where you just you just don't want to do anything. So I appreciate the patience, but hopefully you guys will keep me going and keep me motivated, and then I can lean on my friends for helping and anything like that. So once again, guys, I appreciate you listening. Once again, this is NC a place to be. Challenge member staying in. I thank you all guys from the bottom of my heart. Nerd Coalition is out.